Since film and television began, we've been under their spell. The first film, a train arrives in the station by the Lumiere brothers, was nothing more than a train coming into a station. What started as a sideshow novelty grew into something greater when filmmakers realized they could use movies to tell stories. Georges Méliès was the first filmmaker to realize that films had the power to capture dreams. The first studios were enchanted castles made of glass. If you've ever wondered where your dreams come from, this is where they are made. They could touch us, make us think, make us curious about self-expression and how we too express ourselves. For over 100 years, films and television have found ways to take us in any direction we desire. In some directions, few of us even dreamed of. Today, film and television have piqued the interest of our youth, made them search for answers and ways to express their thoughts. They will always have heroes, except some are, different now. They still root for the underdog, cheer for the rebel, laugh at the clown, and love lovers, just like always. Good films and television stay with us no matter what century we're in. There's something about them we don't know exactly what it is. It's timeless. They tell us where we came from and where we're going. Tonight, just like the video awards themselves, it's about our students, the way they were in the past, the way they are tonight, and hopefully the way they will become in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2009 Academic Video Awards.
I'm your host, Jess Tebow.
And I'm Michael Long. But before we get started, we have a small confession to make.
So this is our first time hosting a video awards show.
And we're more than a little nervous.
But luckily, we did practice or rehearse in front of a live audience.
At the local nursing home.
3 people died.
But the coroner said they died from natural causes, so we're no longer suspects.
which is good because we were a little worried we weren't going to make it tonight.
Yeah, we weren't sure if you guys were going to laugh at that.
So we made cue cards. But moving on, we will commence tonight's awards show with our TV1 class, where we learned skills ranging from filming and editing movies all the way to live TV production. But I'll let some of my fellow students tell you all about that.
Please welcome to the stage Julian Valencia and Carla Campos.
Well, good evening.
Hi. Well, beginning is always an intimidating task, and standing at the end of something is more reassuring than standing at the beginning.
Well, it's been a long couple months, and we have learned a lot as students. We have learned how to use a video camera and record several film projects. We spent hours editing our videos and eventually used them in our own live TV show.
We have certainly worked hard to get here, and tonight we look back at everything that has brought us to this moment.
In Television Production 1, students are introduced to visual communication through the eyes of the camera. For most, this is their first time behind the camera. They are learning how to tell a new story with a new language. There are a series of projects the students must complete in the duration of the class. There is the New England Seasonal Project, Where's My Orange? And their final test is to become a guest on a live television show. The new directors, not only are they guests, they are also the host, the announcer, camera operator, floor manager, technical director, CG operator, video engineer, audio engineer, the teleprompter operator, and of course the most important and nerve-wracking of them all, the director. Television 1 students have traveled the tough, troubling, but fascinating road of media and have arrived at the digital filmmaking and television production threshold.
Thank you. And please welcome our next presenters, Justin DeCausi, Daniel Aguilar, and Tiffany Granderson.
I'm good.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
You okay?
I'm great. I'm awesome.
All right, so New England's known for two things. First thing being the fall, which is known for the various different colors. The other being winter, which is known for the snowflakes, the long nights, the warm moments around the log fires.
Depending on which semester a student was in, they were assigned to do a nature project, which was about capturing nature during the seasonal change. We had to use the tools that we have learned from our past projects.
The new tools that we learned is called cinematography tools. Some examples of cinematography tools are poor man's dissolve, consecutive zoom ins and outs, and also shift focus. We also have to follow the 6 guidelines to good composition. The first one being simplicity. Well, what you would have to do was to choose one subject and get close. You would also have to change the angle of the view, the height, also the depth of field, f-stop, and the distance to the subject. Also, we had to use different focal length lenses. And lastly, the rule of thirds, which you break your picture into thirds, both horizontally and vertically.
Okay. Lines such as emotional lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines, quiet, balance, powerful, hope, dominance, and action. Another guideline is balance, which adds support and unified balance.
And the last two are framing and merging. We are here to present 2 awards, one for the fall and then one for the spring.
Semester.
The nominees for Best Nature Project are
Okay. The winner for Best Nature Project in the fall semester is, it was intense, Edwina Cesare. Come on, babe, come on. Come get your award. Give her an award.
Yeah, she's the flowers in there.
Okay.
Congratulations.
There you go. There you go. Give you a award.
Oh, God. Thank you, everybody.
You want to speak? Maybe?
You want to say something?
Do a speech.
Thank you for great teachers who taught me everything I know, and all support my classmates, because my classmates helped me get through this, and my family. Thank you.
The nominees for Best Winter Project are
winter semester is Miranda Caprigoso.
You got it. Make a speech, stuff. Come on.
There you go. Congratulations.
Congrats.
This is really exciting. I didn't write a speech. I didn't think I was going to win anything. You didn't see my dogs in the video, but they were the main like actors in that video. So I just want to thank my dogs.
Welcome, welcome to everyone that drove to NCC for the AVA Awards, and for all those that happened to walk into the forum thinking this was something else. The exit's over there. So tonight, I and my beautiful friend here, Miranda, are here to announce the winners for the new directors, an important part of our class that gave us an experience of what it's like to be a real director and to promote our projects. It was some very hard work doing the new directors and making it to the AVAs. Everyone who is here deserves a medal.
Yes, Sean, we did work hard in the new directors, learning all of the different jobs that are involved in a television show. We learned to direct, we learned CG Avid, we learned to be the switcher, we learned to be the host, we also learned to be the guest. It was all thanks to the guidance of our Professor Stoney.
Very true, Miranda. And I am glad to have experienced Stoney as a teacher. At least I can write on my resume that I can handle being yelled at very well.
And the nominees for the best host are
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program. So we know that you got to travel to the mystic land of Japan. Can you tell us a few things, or the most interesting places that you've been?
Joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved. Andrew, we know you've previously created a short film through a film program. Please share with us more about this past endeavor.
We got to meet someone who played in football high school, received several concussions, but kept getting back up.
Okay. And the winner for the best host is, no surprise here, Jessica Timo.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program. So we know that you got to travel to the mystic land of Japan. Can you tell us a few things, or the most interesting places?
Man, I'm short.
I have no idea what to say, other than thanks, Stoney.
And the nominees for the best director is
I went online and I searched for one, and Maine Kayak offered it. And with the tripod, it really looks professional. Even though I'm not professional, it looks better with the new tripod.
So television is really interesting to me because of the fact that it's elements like lines of grace and rule of thirds, and how they, again, apply.
Even though I don't want to be a live director as a career choice, I want to be a director in feature-length films. I feel like there's certain skill sets that carry over very well, especially
More fascinating, which is my favorite part, definitely, was learning live television. Like these skills you can use in everyday life in any field that I decide to go in the future.
And the award goes to
Carla Campos.
Technical parts of the camera and how to improve a shot simply by using composition guidelines. Before this class, I had.
Well, I really wasn't expecting this either, but thank you. I think it's amazing how we all got here, and I'm actually really excited to get this because of all the other people that I'm competing against. Thank you.
And the nominees for the best guest goes to
Absolutely. Let's see, I joined the military back when I was 19 years old, and it's kind of a family tradition. I would have to say the most important, interesting skill I learned in the class would be the live directing. Even though I don't want to be
I recently traveled to Hawaii, and I've been all over the world, but I just fell in love with lines of grace, or the horizontal lines, or vertical lines, things that we learned in class. Every time I went to that church for a long time, and I decided to take, a leap in. It would have to be my fall foliage project, just because.
So yeah, I took some pictures from Sheila. Let's take a look. Great question.
Okay, well, I learned that you have to.
I played volleyball, which was my favorite sport of all. Track and field. Every aspect of what I learned in this class could definitely come into handy.
And the winner is big surprise, Daniel.
So yeah, I took some pictures. Let's take a look. Okay, well, I learned that you have to.
Thanks. No speech. And the next to come up to announce for the Orange projects are
James Mackery and Christopher Cipollone.
The Orange Project is the most important and most talked about project for TV1 students. Throughout the semester, the students learn various skills and get to put those skills to use in one final project. The purpose of the project is to have the protagonist find an orange and then eventually lose it in the end. Other than that, the plot and the storyline is completely up to the student making the film. Not only do you direct, but you write the script and storyboard, make a shot sheet, choose actors and costumes, assign locations, and everything else involved in creating a movie.
As the final project, the student has used all of his or her skills in TV1. This is the first film that the student gets to use all of what they've learned. Being at the end of the year, all of the projects are being submitted to the AVAs. These films become very competitive and creative to get good grades and show Stoney that we have learned an awful lot in his class. And believe me, we all try to impress Stoney.
And without further ado, here are your nominees.
And the winner is Julian.
To be honest, I was not expecting this. The people nominated deserve more than me. This is my first one. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, everyone that was nominated, they deserve it.
One more. There's actually one more winner. Michael Long.
Oh, hello. Thank you. I really enjoyed making that. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Moving along. It's kind of interrupted our gimmick that we had going. We weren't expecting to actually announce that award.
Wasn't that class so amazing, Michael? Don't you just miss TV1?
Meh. You know what? I think TV1's gotten a lot easier since I was there. In my day, we had to walk 10 miles in the snow on our bare feet with our cameras and tripods just to get that perfect shot.
You know, Mike,
Yeah?
you took TV1 last semester.
Oh, yeah.
It was fall.
Oh.
No snow.
Whatever. Either way, TV1 was nowhere near as exciting as TV3, which, for those of you that don't know, is our broadcast news course, where students act as reporters, anchors, editors, and writers to assemble and direct their very own news broadcast.
Really?
I don't know how to put this, but that was kind of a big deal in TV3.
Really?
People know me.
Well, I'm just so happy.
I'm
for
very
you.
important, actually. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Getting back to the show, let's welcome to the stage Stephen Gagliardo and Unal Sukman to tell us who the real talents of TV3 were. Let's give them a-
So for TV3 class, we had to create a 30-minute newscast.
In these 30 minutes, we had to put in world news, national news, state and community stories, and college news.
For the world and national news stories, we were able to download CNN stories with scripts and then create voiceovers for them.
For our state stories, we had to go and find stories in our community and act as reporters. Some of the stories we did were about some local stores, beaches, and important people in the community.
Then we created our own director stories like a documentary and ENG, which is the electronic news gathering, are extending stories that are around 3 to 5 minutes long.
Finally came our college stories. These stories were all about stories going about NCC, whether it's events going on at NCC or student opinions. And we can't have a newscast without some anchors, so here are some best anchors.
The man charged in the accident was driving the car of a mayoral candidate who is now dead. Michael Clark has the story. NCC was visited by its annual keynote speaker who gave students a first-hand account of the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Michael Long has the story.
President Obama is pushing for background checks for anyone who wants to buy a gun, so dangerous people cannot get their hands on one. Brianna Keeler has a story. NCC holds a club fair at the beginning of every semester to show and encourage students to join clubs. Lots of clubs have many benefits towards the students and can help them in many ways. Stephen Gagliardo shows us some of the fair.
The conclave gets underway on Tuesday, and Vladimir Duthiers reports Africa is one of the places Catholicism has been expanding in recent years. Grand Central Station is in New York City, will be celebrating its 100th birthday this year. We also
Joseph Despira.
The man charged in the accident was driving the car of a mayoral candidate who is now dead. Michael Clark has the story. NCC was visited by its annual keynote speaker who gave students a first-hand account of the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Michael Long has the story.
I want to thank my mom and dad, Stoney and Omar, everyone in my TV3 class, and that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.